welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
And we're back, man.
Yes, sir.
Episode 280. All right.
280.
Another milestone, man. We'll be at 320 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Or maybe sooner.
We got to make a plan, man.
To do out 300, yeah.
Yeah, something. We got to do something 300. All right, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah.
Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Hell of a fucking fight, man. Hell of a fight.
Man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's weird about the situation is you would think it would have went like not even a different way, but more competitive.
Yeah.
I just think it proved how much of a, like, Crawford's on another level.
Yeah.
And he was punching the shit out of Errol Spence, man.
Terence Crawford is special, man.
Yeah, he made Errol Spence look like Homer Simpson in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Remember that episode where Homer Simpson basically, he kept getting hit so many times that the opponent would get tired and fall down?
No, I never seen that.
Oh, man, that's a popular episode of The Simpsons, man.
Yeah.
Homer just gets socked so many times that the opponent just fell.
Yeah.
That's not obviously what happened here.
Yeah.
Man, and what was crazy is I don't want to flash forward, but he got an ass whooping so bad that at the end, fucking, who had asked him? What's that dude's name that does the post-fight interview? Is it something Gray? Is it Jim Gray?
I think so. I know who you're talking about.
I think it's Jim Gray.
Yeah.
Jim Gray said at the end of the fight, Terence Crawford came and talked to you. What did he say? And
Errol Spence said.
Errol Spence said, "Who?" That's how I know you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
He said, "Who?"
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough to watch.
Yeah.
I know for me, I'm a fan of both of them. I like Terence Crawford. I think he's a guy that, like, if you're a little bit younger, you would look at Terence Crawford the way that we look at, like, Floyd Mayweather. And then Errol Spence is obviously he was a great fighter. He to me, he never jumped off the screen the way that Terence Crawford did.
Yeah.
But he was really good. Like he just had a very punishing style. And he had like a great amateur career. So when he came onto the scene, he was already in the Olympics and all this other stuff. So going into the fight, I'm thinking that, I thought Terence Crawford would win just because he seemed like a better boxer. But I didn't see that. I told my friend I was talking to Azim, actually.
Wow.
We had him on a podcast a while back.
Yeah.
He's a huge boxing fan. I actually went to his house years ago to watch Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather. So shout out to him. But I told him, I was like, we were just texting back and forth about the fight. And I told him, I was like, man, I think it might go like Canelo and Mayweather, where it's like Mayweather, his boxing skills was just too much for Canelo. He couldn't cut off the ring, all this other stuff. He just wasn't fast enough to keep up. And even with me thinking that, I didn't think that it would be that bad. Like Spence got battered, man, and he was like, and to me, I'm a guy that I don't make fun of boxers. Like I don't make fun of boxers that get knocked out. Even when Deontay Wilder got knocked out, like you will never hear me really joking about boxing because I know that it's a serious sport and somebody got to lose. Like that's just the nature of that sport. The only time that I would be like even like kind of like joking about it if a guy is like just too arrogant, and they just go in there talking crazy.
Like fucking Adrian Broner?
Like an Adrian Broner, I'd be like, I would feel some type of way. But even then, I still know that a lot of that is just showmanship. Like he's just trying to sell a fight and stuff like that. Man. But overall, like, I when I was watching the fight, I was genuinely feeling like for Spence, because I know and we know, like, for example, Tommy Hearns was at the fight and they were interviewing him afterwards. And he's like, I don't know how old he is, but you could tell he's a little bit punch drunk. You know what I mean? Like the words don't flow like
his
that.
words.
Yeah, and we know boxers and stuff that have that same experience. So for me, when I was looking at it, I was just hoping that, he's able to, just be good. You know what I mean? Like be able to be a father and be able to be a family man and stuff like that, because it's a brutal sport. You just getting punched in your head. And we see the likes of like Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Roger Mayweather and a lot of these guys that, were professionals and and it's just not there. So I ideally I think they should have stopped it a little bit earlier, but
they should have stopped that shit early. He was getting fucked up.
Yeah,
his corner should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah,
because we even told the ring doctor guy. He was like, he told him he felt like discombobulated, or he felt like.
No, he told his trainer that. He said, I'm feeling lackadaisical.
I'm feeling lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corner should have stopped the fight. He wanted to stop the fight, but he's not telling him to stop it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's getting fucked up. The only thing Bud Crawford didn't do was throw a Hadouken at him. That's all.
Yeah.
If he'd have thrown a Hadouken, I would have not been shocked.
Yeah.
Like left hook. Oh, no. Bud Crawford throws a Hadouken right in his face.
Yeah. He was one move away from throwing a Kamehameha wave in there.
You imagine like, oh, the left hook lands. Hadouken. Oh, my God. He throws in a Hadouken. Shoryuken. This nigga throwing Street Fighter combos at fucking Spence, man.
Yeah.
That
I will
shit
say,
was
though,
nuts.
it did seem like I don't think I've ever experienced like a fight like that to where like people were almost sad that it ended that way.
Man.
Like for the most part, like even when Deontay Wilder fought, like people wasn't devastated that he lost. It was more so like we knew his stats was a little bit padded just because he just was a average boxer that had a lot of power.
Yeah.
So he would be getting beat up and he would just land that right, and then he would be just dropping people. But even when he lost to Tyson Fury, it was shocking, but it wasn't like the devastating, like people, it was a lot of people. Like they had a video of Adrian Broner after the fight, and he was just like distraught. Like he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Kind of
What's weird too about Deontay Wilder is like after he lost the first time, he got on the internet like, don't worry, y'all. I am still your king. I'm still your king. Like, nigga, you ain't nobody's king. You got your ass whooped in there. Mm-hmm. Just redeem yourself. And the next time he came back, he had an excuse saying he had a full body suit on. It was like a king suit. And I guess he said that the suit was heavy. I'm like, nigga, shut up.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will respect about Errol Spence. He didn't make no excuses as to why he lost. He said he agreed to the weight. He just said his timing was a little bit off.
The better man won.
The better man won on tonight. So, yeah, that's respectable. But it does happen a lot of times. Like you even mentioned the Roberto Duran, the No Mas fight.
Yeah.
And even in that, I think that he, and somebody might be out there that may know better than me, I believe he still doesn't acknowledge that he said that. I think he says that he didn't say that and they stopped the fight prematurely. So it's just situations like that you hear like people start to make like, and even with Deontay Wilder, he mentions like, that he has like different things in his glove and he doesn't respect him because he knows he cheated and stuff like that. So
man, cut that. Like you got to cut that shit out. And when it comes to Roberto Duran, he shocked Sugar Ray Leonard at first. Mm-hmm. He shocked him and beat him. They came back on the rematch and Sugar Ray just had too many bags up his tricks. Too many tricks up his bag.
He was a great boxer.
Yeah, he was a great boxer. He was fucking up.
And he was moving around a lot more.
Yeah, he was fucking up Roberto Duran so much. Duran was like, no mas, no mas, no mas. Mm-hmm. That's how you know you beating somebody.
No, it wasn't like that. It was like more like one time he said it, and then they just stopped the fight. Yeah. But yeah, it's a.
Imagine you beating somebody up so bad like that they do that. They're like, Yahweh,
Allah Akbar.
You're Muslim. Yeah. They're like, this nigga praying. It's time to stop that fucking fight. What about like a Christian? Like a Christian, if they get in their ass, what they gonna do?
On God, I'm getting my ass beat.
It was like a white Christian, like, Jesus Lord, stop this, please. Jesus Lord, stop the fight. Jesus Lord.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a great year for boxing though. We seen Tank and Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney and Lomachenko and
Lomachenko won that fight, bro.
Yeah, I think he won. Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be a rematch because
that's fucked up.
Devin Haney is moving up, so yeah. So, but yeah, we got Canelo and Charlo next. the one Charlo brother he need to focus on keeping his hands up because
I know
Caleb Plant out here punching
Slap
niggas.
the fuck out of him.
Caleb Plant out here putting hands on people.
Javante Davis hit fucking he hit Ryan Garcia with a tiger uppercut.
Yeah.
Tiger uppercut, tiger.
Yeah.
Niggas is
To
getting
a solar plex.
Yeah, right. It hit him right there and he just caved in.
Yeah, crippled him.
That's bad though. But you know what's getting played out though? Shout out to Ha Davis, but his after fight commentary with the whole thing, it's played out.
Yeah. I didn't see what he made.
He did the same thing with this fight, and it's got the same like pig squealing in the background. It's like, bro,
big fella, keep your head, like stuff like that.
Yeah, that shit is whack, man.
That's it. One thing, like I said before, I don't make fun of people, like, and I've sparred a little bit and trained a little bit, and I just like, for me, it's not funny to me. Like it's real human beings in there. Even like football stuff, like when certain things happen, certain people get injured. I think for me, just because I've been in there and I've experienced it on a certain level, there's not nothing to joke about. But it's certain, and me, we joke about stuff, but I just think those things is like off limits.
I appreciate how Bud Crawford won with class though too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't like talking shit or whatever the case.
Yeah,
but
they kept it respectful the whole build up. They was shooting things back and forth. Even like with his costume, Earl Spence calling himself the Big Fish, and Terence Crawford like designing his shorts, his jacket, his warm up jacket, and his shoes having like nets on them. I thought that was really dope. And I thought it was dope too. Like I've noticed this. I think it might have started. I'm not going to say Floyd started this, but I remember when Floyd fought, dang, I don't remember who it was, but I remember him starting to get the patches on his short. It was like he had like a Hublot thing on it, or like a Gucci thing on it, like the logo on the shorts.
Yeah.
And I was saying like, they paying like $1 million. That's like a freaking Super Bowl ad. You know what I mean? Like they paying $1 million. So I seen on Terence Crawford, he had like Billionaire Boys Club on his on his pants, and it was a couple other things.
They had Prime for Bud Crawford.
Yeah, and he had the Prime chain. That's crazy.
And they kept like handing him the drink to get the drink in the shot because it's a lot of advertisement. But I remember one time, I think it was when Maidana beat the shit out of Broner. And after the fight,
he was trying to put he was
trying to put like a cookie in there.
Yeah.
And then the like security grabbed the cookie, like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And took the cookie from him.
You just got to do it subtly. The way Terence Crawford did, he's drinking out of the bottle, so like it actually works. But
yeah,
some niggas be doing like they'll put on like a hat from a freaking car company or something, a local car company like Riverside Automotives. They got the freaking hat on. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, great fight, man. I'm sure a lot of you guys caught it, even if you're a casual boxing fan.
Yeah.
You just watch it, like, watch it with all your family and whatnot.
Yeah.
You seen how bad Spence was getting his ass whooped.
Dude, what do you think Spence goes from here? Is he like...
Spence goes to the hospital first. That's where he's got to go there first. Mm-hmm. After that, he needs to determine whether he needs to retire or not because his fucking retina's been detached.
Yeah.
So if you can't see a motherfucker hitting you, they only gonna fuck you up worse.
Yeah.
So you might want to evaluate whether you want to come back or not, especially after getting beat like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad, man.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's hard, like as fighters, as athletes in any physical sport, whether it's football, you see like Tua like getting million concussions and he's still playing football. It's just something about it. Like, even me, I haven't had that I've never had a concussion or a head injury, but I've had injuries before, and you heal and sit out a few weeks, and then you come back and play again. So I don't know. I think he is 33. He had a huge payday last night or on Saturday night. Last night for us. And I think that he could reevaluate what he wants to do. But I think that the hard part about boxing is you just don't know till you know. And like we said before, like we know a fighter out here locally that has like some, what do you call it, like a cognitive difference.
A cognitive decline.
Yeah, for sure. And in his career wasn't that crazy. Like he didn't he had a couple. I think he only has a few losses on his record. So it's something to really think about. And like you don't really know till you know. Like you can't really do no brain scans to say is this the time to retire? Is this time to keep going? But I don't know. And that's one of the interesting things that Sean Porter said is that his dad probably stopped that fight prematurely, but it could have potentially who knows what the next few rounds could have looked like. And I think that I think his corner. I think when I was thinking about it, when Errol Spence said, I'm feeling lackadaisical, I don't think he was telling him that to throw in a towel.
Right.
I think he was just expressing how he was feeling. Like, yo, it's not almost like it's not working in there, coach. Like my feet, I can't get my feet under.
Sean Porter's dad
me.
is a dickhead.
Yeah, that was
That's
a lot.
fucked up, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing what I tell him to do. And it's like,
and he just threw in the towel.
At the end of the day, the issue is this, and this is for anybody listening. You need to make sure that your father respects you as a man. Because when they don't, they do shit like that. Mm-hmm. You gotta, because even though that's your father, at the end of the day, you are both grown men. Mm-hmm. I remember, rest in peace to my father, but there was times where I had to tell him, like, I'm your son, but I'm a grown man. You need to watch how you talk to me. Mm-hmm. I told him that, and he was kind of like thrown by it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you raised me not to be getting disrespected, and then I'm showing you that I'm not going to tolerate that even from you. Mm-hmm. And he got quiet and was mad, but he had to get over it because I'm not going to tolerate that from nobody. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Porter has had that moment with his father. I think everybody has to have that moment.
He did.
Everybody has to have that moment with their parent where you basically, without saying it, need to tell them to shut the fuck up.
No,
because
but
parents get out of pocket, bro. They get out of pocket, and you are an adult, and you got to tell them, hey, man, no, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, but that's the reason why his dad said that, is because in camp they had that conflict. Like he said, that was the first time I told my dad that I'm not doing, Dad, I'm not doing this. I'm doing my own, kind of like I'm doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. So that was the response. It was just bad timing. And it was like a conversation that should have been had personally.
That's what I'm saying.
Put out loud.
But that's still disrespect, because as a father, you should understand that as a professional, it's not professional. You need to have that conversation with your son. Yeah. But instead, you go on national TV talking about how he didn't listen. Yeah. That's like, dog, no. That's why you got to get a trainer.
The fight too. Like, that's, I don't know. People be having some wild stuff.
It's adding insult to injury. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not cool, man. You need to I think every person has had that defining moment where you had to check your parent, bro. Mm-hmm. Not even in a disrespectful way. Like, a lot of us grew up with parents that never apologized. They just did shit.
Yeah.
And then they expect the utmost respect from you. They expect you to be like, don't disrespect me in my house, and don't do this and don't do that.
Yeah.
Always dictating shit, but you never apologize. That's if I have kids, that's one of the policies that I'll have with my kids. If I do something that inconveniences them or does them wrong in any way, I'll be like, hey, you know what, son? I apologize. I fucked that up. That's my bad. I'm going to make sure I get it right for you.
Yeah.
Because you teaching them accountability at the same time. Mm-hmm. But what happens is it's a lopsided thing. Especially, I noticed this mainly, I don't know if it's in all communities, but I mainly grew up with everybody. But in black households or black and brown households, it's like they run it's a lot of dictating going on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm. So, that was just weird. I remember when we was watching that, it was like, yo, why would he even say that? Like, like you said, adding insult to injury. He already lost, and then you get up there like, he didn't do what I told him to do.
He didn't do what I told him to do.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. But hopefully, Errol Spence could bounce back, and hopefully he's healthy and his brain is still sharp. Cause
you a boxer, your brain ain't right. Your brain is not meant to be we are not built as human beings to take punches. We were built to just read books and shit. Like we really were not made to be playing a bunch of sports. We just created these things.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah, that's like what we're doing right now on the podcast. That's what our brains are built for. To actually process thoughts and speak these things out. You know, not even specifically into a microphone, but our brains, this is what our brains are for.
Yeah.
You know, to process things and, you know, have conversations. It's not built to take left hooks and right jabs.
Yeah.
Ain't it? Even football. Me and Keith both play football. We lucky we didn't fuck our brains up.
For sure.
And who knows? We might be a little fucked up.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Well, you think you is, nigga, until they do that test when we pass away.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, this nigga Keith had CTE Jr.
I got a cheese brain. Dang.
Oh, they were like, man, that's why he like anime so much. He was a kid in his brain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you never know, man. I know a dude I played football with. I won't say no names. He was a middle linebacker, hell of a linebacker. And all of a sudden, he just started acting weird as a motherfucker. Like just real aloof, real strange.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if he took a wrong hit or he did some drugs that fucked him up. But
yeah, I've heard of people like, not even in terms of sports, like, you know, may have just gotten into an accident and then they say something like, you know, they forgot where they were. They was driving down the street and they just lost in a city they super familiar with, and they just, you know, forgot where they was. So yeah, that brain, like you said, that brain it's a very sensitive thing, and a lot of times you can't do real tests on it until the person passes away.
Yeah, that's true.